Welcome back, everybody. In this video, you're going to watch an officer do the unthinkable while clearing a house for a burglary alarm that was going off. This is the Shots Fired podcast. I'm Kyle Schoberg, and to my right is Mark Redlich.
This is a viral video of an officer that shoots her own reflection in a mirror while clearing a house. Let's watch this video. When we come back, we're going to give you our perspectives on this.
Mirror, bro. I turned that way. Fuck. Huh? But we have to finish freaking clearing. Yeah.
That's what I said here.
I didn't hear you say that.
You alright?
Yeah, I didn't hit anything. There's a door right here.
Okay. I don't know exactly how to start this off. I've never seen that before. So you go ahead and you kick this one off.
Okay. It's hard to watch because this should never happen. This should never happen.
I have been in a situation where clearing a house, I have gotten spooked, but I've never had my finger on the trigger to fire my gun at something. Definitely not a mirror, my own reflection in the mirror. But real quick, was clearing a house one time and like pushed open a shower curtain and did find a suspect hiding behind a shower curtain in the bath. And that did scare the crap out of me. But this is the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I've been scared and startled by a suspect hiding in the curtain of a shower before too. But I think that's the importance of not keeping your finger on the trigger and actually recognizing what you're intending to actually shoot and why. But I think we can all admit that when you clear a house, there is, especially this one, because they're clearing a house because of a burglary alarm. I would say 80% of the calls that I went to that are burglary alarms or ringing alarms are false, or there's doors are left open or cats or something.
I would say higher than 80%.
It's high.
I would,
yes.
I would say over in the 90 percentile, and you generally don't find a person in the house. On an alarm call.
If an alarm is going off,
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever actually found anybody in there. The point is they're running and they're getting out of there.
Not to say you couldn't, and you should be prepared for that. But
You should be. You should be searching a house with the intent of finding somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is a big house. So let's talk about clearing a house with just 2 cops. Like, that is not safe. But the reality is, like, it happens. And if you look, they go downstairs. That's a huge house. There's a lot of different open doorways, a lot of threats that way. It's not safe, but it's doable.
Yeah, I mean, there are places where, look, you only have, a couple officers working at a time, so I understand. And there are ways to clear a house safely with just 2 people. It might take you a lot longer, but I'd rather be safe than rush it, thinking that there's nobody going to be there. We go to call for services all the time, alarm calls. That's a daily occurrence.
Yeah.
Whether or not, some agencies and cops choose not to even clear homes if they can't gain access to them. I mean, maybe the door was unlocked or whatever, and they got in there. But it wasn't just that she accidentally. Here's the thing: it wasn't an accident.
No, you're right. It's intentional.
It wasn't like she got scared and accidentally pulled the trigger. It was an intentional act on her behalf to actually shoot what she thought was clearly somebody standing there with a gun, which ultimately was her own reflection. So, I guess kudos to her for having some type of reaction to something that she thought was a threat. But you brought up a really good point in that that's an officer in a uniform that she shot at. And what if it was an interconnecting room or something? And maybe I know that there wasn't in this scenario, but if it was a different scenario where you had multiple officers there searching a room or whatever, I mean, that happens with like blue on blue where cops shoot each other. So that's a pretty scary situation that she couldn't recognize.
Yeah.
That it was herself in a reflection of a mirror.
Yeah, in a police uniform. So she saw that, and then I'm hoping that she saw a gun, but nonetheless, like, you have to recognize the fact that in that mirror was an officer. Her reflection, she shot, like you just said, like she shot herself, a reflection of a police officer. And if it was a circle type of a place, that was a real officer, she shot an officer. I don't think people are really focusing on the seriousness of this actual incident.
Yeah.
But she did handle, I will say, as soon as she did it, I think she recognized and went, oh shit. But she yelled out false, 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 which it's never a command. I'm glad that she had the wherewithal to say something to alert her partner. Like,
did you see his reaction? Dude,
Yeah.
he's like, whoa.
yeah,
I mean, obviously that scared the shit out of him, which it would scare the
Yeah.
hell out of me too. Your back is to that, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
your partner's shooting.
yeah.
And he needs
says
to know what's
false.
going on.
Like, I mean, kudos to her for actually saying that, giving a command. And then she did say, hey, we got to keep clearing the house. So I would say that she didn't shut down and I mean, she said, fuck, and like, yeah, dude.
I would too.
Yeah, but she didn't shut down and stop. It should never have happened, but she worked through it.
I'd be like, I'm in big trouble after this.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the first thing that'd be going through my mind.
Like, when I'm done clearing and I holster, that might be the last time I've
Yeah.
unholstered my gun.
yeah, I might call the Sarge after this and turn over my badge and gun. No.
Yeah.
I don't know what the outcome of that would be for her, the repercussions, but she certainly more than likely would not get fired over that, but definitely a training, aspect to it. But yeah, afterwards, you're right. She didn't shut down. She did remain. At one point, she kind of chuckles. I think she realized how stupid that was.
Yeah.
But
That shows the human element of an officer.
yeah, everyone makes mistakes. That could be a fatal mistake though. If I don't know, somebody was on the other side of that door or whatever it was that what the mirror was hanging on, that could have been really bad.
Yeah. It's hard to watch that. And there's not a lot of body camera to really analyze of their tactics of clearing the house, how big of a house was. Like, we don't have a lot of information, but what we know is what we saw and how that's just not acceptable. That should never happen.
Yeah, so don't be that guy or girl.
Yeah. And I think the key takeaway to this or of this situation that I take away from that is the importance of training. We're advocates for that, clearing houses, doing it safely, working with your partner, communicating, but then incorporating mirrors, because
Yeah.
that's like an immediate real person that you're going to see. And part of target recognition is, and you do this at the range, and you should, if you do simunitions with mannequins and stuff, is recognizing who has the gun.
Yeah, it's a good
So
point.
I think there's a couple things to learn from this, and people could take back to their own agencies and incorporate.
Yeah, I mean the cop, the number one guy going down the stairs, he even said, he called it out. He said mirror. She obviously didn't hear him, but actually thought that was kind of good on his part for even calling that out, because he clearly when he turned the corner, he recognized it. He
Yeah.
probably saw his own reflection, maybe spooked him a little bit, but
I mean, break it down a little bit of tactics there. It makes me question what they're in their tactic of clearing the house, because if he's turning a certain direction and he's already identifying something in that direction, I think your responsibility is to hold that. But then again, I mean, I'm processing all of this. That's a big house. You're going to have to glance in all directions. Like,
yeah, there
you
were
have
multiple.
to.
It looks like there were multiple open rooms down that stairs where they're going to have to take one chunk of that at a time. I'm not an advocate for sending, if you can avoid it, one cop into a room by themselves and then another cop into another room by themselves. Like trying to do too many rooms at the same time.
Well, you're
by
immediately,
yourself.
yeah, you're losing the hallway and the coverage. And if you're both in a bedroom, then there's no reason to continue clearing, because if a suspect comes out, they can go in another room that you've just cleared. You
Yeah.
always have to have someone viewing something.
Yeah. That wouldn't make sense. But
Well,
yeah, not a long one, but definitely some, I don't know, little takeaways to get out of it. And I guess luckily nobody got hurt in that one.
Yeah.
Other than the mirror. The mirror is definitely dead.
yeah, didn't hit anything. Well, no, you did, but
Yeah, she's like, I didn't hit anything. Like, no, you killed that mirror.
yeah,
It is
you destroyed
donezo.
property. Yeah. Well, I think the key takeaways is the training aspect of it and target recognition. Like, what are you shooting and why are you shooting, and are you clearing with your finger on the trigger? And in this case, that probably happened. And are you getting startled? Like, why are you getting startled? And how do you manage yourself and your adrenaline so you don't get startled like that? And that's your response.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, enough on that. I don't have anything else. Catch you guys on the next video.
Stay safe and be smart.